Today, I'm going to be ranking all of the Cartoon Network shows so you don't have to. You're welcome. Obviously, S is going to be the best, and then we are going down to D, the worst. The crappiest, worst show that just turn it off. Turn the TV off. Don't even, just throw it out the window, honestly. All right, so let's get started here. First show. Now, guys, I'm going to say, too, I don't know, like, most of these shows. The first show is Stupid Dogs. I don't know what that is. Next, 16. I don't know what that is. Okay, a pup named Scooby-Doo. Okay, so a pup named Scooby-Doo. Oh man, so this show was my everything when I was a child. I watched this show all the time in the bed. And I had like a little, like a DVD thing. You put like little CDs in, and it went like, and then I would be under the cover, and you know, it was a school night, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna watch this show. Pup named Scooby-Doo. I think it was a great show. It had some really great characters. It was very wholesome. The show, I don't remember too much about it. It was more of one of those shows you just binge watch once in a while, and then you're like, after a while. So I would say it's a good show. It's a pretty good show. On to the next one. Okay, we're off to a great start here. Adventure Time. Where do I even start with Adventure Time? If you have not seen Adventure Time, get out. Just get out right now. This may be one of the best cartoons in the history of cartoons. There was so much, there's just so much to talk about. The characters, the development they had. Like Finn and Jake, the two main characters, they had an incredible, enormous amount of development throughout the whole series. They became very smart, very just wholesome and amazing. Every character is very memorable too. The Ice King, where he was really stupid and then funny at the same time. He had very clever points, but then he was always capturing the princesses, and just he was a weird guy. But this show had everything. Anyway, Adventure Time, I think it deserves an S tier. And if anyone thinks differently, then come to my house and we will fight, okay? Like, come on, it's Adventure Time. It's so funny. Jake the dog was always farting, and Finn was always swinging a sword, and the Lich, though, that villain, he was insane. I don't know if you guys know the Liches, but there were episodes of the Lich that creeped me the hell out. The guy was probably one of the creepiest cartoon characters for me as a kid. I did not like those episodes. It freaked me out, and I had like a nightmare. But easily a S tier. If you want me to go on and on about these shows, obviously I'll talk more about the shows that I like more, and a lot of these are just gonna go in the trash because a lot of them, they kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of them do suck. Next, what? Naked? I've never seen. Amazing World of Gumball. I'm gonna get hated for this. Okay. So I have some different opinions on this show. Amazing World of Gumball was an incredible show. Don't get me wrong. It was incredible. It came out of nowhere, and Cartoon Network they did a really great thing with this one. But personally, I just never watched it. I watched a few episodes, but I really never binged watched it, got into it, and it's a semi-decent show for me. I think it's really funny, and the characters are also, you can connect with the characters. But personally, I don't think it was my favorite show. I just really never got into it. If I got into it, I would say it's like an A tier. But for me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No roasting me, please. Please, man. Don't come for my cheeks. Like, please. You understand? And if you have a different opinion, I want to throw this out there too. If you have a different opinion, then let me know. Tell me. Maybe your opinion will make me watch the cartoon. If there's one of these cartoons that you're like, Krizik, watch the damn thing, then maybe, I can sit down one day and watch them, and if I ever get free time. So tell me your experiences. Tell me what you thought about this as a kid, now, and I also hate the thing when people are like, oh, you can't watch cartoons as an adult. That's bullshit, man. I'm sorry, but that's complete bullshit. If you want to watch like a cartoon People work really hard to make these things, and they're very entertaining. Next, I don't know this. Okay, I've seen like 2 episodes of this, and I just don't, I've never seen it. I can't really rank something I haven't fully invested time into. So it's bad. For me, it's bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If it was okay. I'm sorry. Batman Beyond. Oof. Batman Beyond was such a different idea from the normal idea of Batman. It was pretty much Batman in the future, or Batman became old in the future because he's human, and he had to recruit someone else to become Batman. And it was all futuristic and technology and beep boop and all that. But the idea behind it, it was a very dark cartoon. Very, very dark. There were some really scary moments, very crazy parts that just made you think, oh my god, the character actually is gonna die, or just some really insane things. It's a great show. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it because it has an immense character development. Like, it is crazy because we all know Batman is a very stubborn guy, and to see him have to like have his hands in someone else and someone else's life because, you know, he can't defend for himself anymore. He's an old man. He's crippled and he's depressed. You know, you become old, you become depressed, and you hate your life. Yeah. Batman Brave and the Bold. I tried to get into this show, but no, I'm sorry. It's mediocre. And no, it's not even mediocre. I don't know, man. It just, Batman Beyond, just, the characters, nowadays cartoons, the characters, I think everyone can agree on this. I'm going to take these off for now. A lot of people can agree with this. The characters now in cartoons, there's no story, bro. There's no story. Pretty much what happens now is the characters have an opinion about something, and they're telling like a story, and then the story just disappears. Oh, let's go fight this giant bad guy because he's taking over the world or something like that. Oh, let's first have a pizza party. I mean, it's things like that. They get so off topic now in these cartoons, and they treat the cartoons like freaking 4-year-olds are watching. And yes, I know 4-year-olds and younger kids are watching these, but back then in my generation, the cartoons were pretty much more where you can just sit down, watch, and it's an actual story, and you're listening and digging into the depths of that story. And it was not like all this bullshit nowadays where it's like the character's doing one thing and then he gets messed up by this, and it's so random nowadays. It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, let's keep going. Ben 10. Ben freaking 10. Yes. This was the one cartoon, the number one cartoon. And yes, I will be ranking it like top, like all this stuff. So Ben 10 first. I'll come back to that. Ben 10 first, because as a little kid, I think we all had the envision of, you get the Omnitrix, the watch, you turn into the aliens. I think we all dreamed about it falling out of the sky, and you slap that shit on your wrist, you turn into like 10 different aliens, and you got superpowers. We all wanted that. And this show had crazy development. Ben is a 10-year-old kid that pretty much is stubborn. He's a stubborn kid who didn't even deserve the Omnitrix in the first place. It's a device, like I said. It lets you turn into different aliens. And Ben had huge development. He was so annoying, so selfish in the beginning, but that's why it was funny. He was like a little kid that it would take you off. But then to see the growth in Ben was amazing. And to have his cousin, Gwen, they were always going at it with each other. And so it's kind of like that. If you have one character and another character that are so different, like Finn and Jake, for example, I would say Jake is the funny one. Finn is the more serious sometimes. And that's why I'm making this point. Ben Tennyson was so good. Like, and Gwen was so different from him. They were both fighting all the time. And then you had the wholesome character, Grandpa Max, the grandfather. We loved Grandpa Max. He was the most wholesome guy. He was the one who was guiding Ben in the right direction with the powers. But anyways, that's my thing for Ben 10. It is my favorite show. I love Ben 10 so much. Like, I am a simp. Poggers. Serious poggers. Like, I love Ben 10. Ben 10 can... Ben 10, dude. Ben 10. Alright. Oh, Ben 10 Alien Force. Oh. Okay, there's one show that I would say... This is an opinion thing. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. I like Ben 10 Alien Force more than Ben 10. But here's why. Ben 10 Alien Force is Ben when he's more grown up. He is more powerful. He has more aliens. And this show had even more development. You were able to see Ben grow even more. And it was insane. The kid, he still was at times very stubborn, very, I'm the best. And not always, but he always did the right thing. And you always developed a personal connection with all those aliens. We all had a favorite alien, like Chroma Stone, Big Chill was my favorite. And when he turned into those aliens, it was so nice to get the connection with each of the aliens. You know, some of them you'd be like, I don't like that one as much. And then you like this one. He had to learn how to use the Omnitrix more to like get out of situations. And overall, this show just was so much better. Kevin 11 became a good guy. And when he became a good guy, he was also still very sassy. Him and Ben, there was those two characters that were very different, but it was funny because they would argue all the time. But in the end, they would, hug and, hug it up and be like, yeah, man, I love you, man. But anyways, Ben 10 Alien Force is a great show. You have to check it out. Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. A lot of people said this was better than Alien Force, but there's one reason I disagree. Ben, his character development was skyrocketing in Alien Force. It was crazy. But then in Ultimate Alien, oh my god, man. He became famous. Everyone knew who he was. And pretty much what happened was he got selfish. Bro, he was so selfish. Like, it was a great show. It's a great show. But most of the character development that we got from the first and the second series just died. And yes, it built back up. It did build back up. But it was not as satisfying as these two. And I just highly disagree with Alien Force, Ultimate Alien being better than Alien Force. Yes, there were the Ultimate Aliens, and they were really sexy. Like, Ultimate Echo, he can like... scream my ear any day. But Ultimate Alien in the end was not as good in my opinion. I think there were many other episodes in Alien Force that were better. There was this one episode, Ultimate Alien, though, where they had to learn how to use their powers, or not use their powers. It was a plumber episode. They had to... Crap, I forgot what it was, really. They had to, it was a basic training thing, and they all had to earn their plumber badges. It's like a badge you have to earn, like a cop kind of thing. And Ben kept using his powers because that's all he knew how to do. And that's what I mean by the character development. He didn't know. He just kept using the Omnitrix. Like, I love that episode. It's one of my favorite episodes, and it's so funny. But there's just so much in Ultimate Alien that could have been better. And obviously, I like it because it's in S tier, so I don't want to hear any crap. Omniverse. A lot of people hated the show. I don't care what you say, man. Come fight me. I'm right at my house. Fight me. Omniverse was probably... Actually, give me a second to get my thoughts. Hold on, editor. Cut. Let's see. Omniverse. Also, guys, today's video is sponsored by Logan Paul, KSI Prime Hydration. It's good to stay hydrated. They totally sponsored me, so yeah. Omniverse. Very good series. I want to start going a little faster here. Very good series. It also had character development. I don't know what the hell happened to Gwen. Hold on. But this is Ben from Ultimate Alien, or Gwen from Ultimate Alien and Alien Force. You want to see what they did to my girl? What the heck happened? What happened? Yes, she's beautiful, whatever. But, like, what the heck? Besides that, everything else I would have to say is amazing. We have that one episode of Alien X where he creates all the entire universe. Everything blows up. The whole universe is destroyed. And he recreates the entire universe. And that was a crazy episode. So it's very worth watching. We don't even talk about this. This deserves to burn. You know, hold on. Anyways. I have not seen this. I do not know. Camp L.A.Zialo. L.A.Zialo. And that's what his name was. Camp Lazlo. I don't remember too much about it. I watched a few episodes. It was really funny. And I have a few childhood memories, so the nostalgia is kind of hitting me. I'm going to give it a low B. I have not seen a lot, so I don't know. Haven't seen this thing. Haven't seen this. Chowder. Chowder was fantastic. It had so many unique features I've never seen in a cartoon before. They would break the third wall many times. If you don't know what breaking the third wall is, pretty much it is the characters knowing they are in a cartoon, and they emphasize that and explain that many times. They had some really funny transitions where Chowder would actually like see a person in real life and then be like, am I in a cartoon? Like things like that, for example. But besides that, all the characters were so funny. They were always happy. They were always funny. There was always something to tell. And it was pretty much about Chowder becoming a master chef. And Mung Dal was his teacher. Chowder is a great show. I would say it's right below Adventure Time. Right below there, man. And if you disagree with me, then you are a sack of... Next is Clarence. I never seen it. I know. This was a really popular show. I never seen it. Next is some dude with a sombrero. What? Cloudy Chance of a Meeple? Wait, it had a show for Cloudy Chance of Meeples? I did not know about that. Never seen. Codename Kids Next Door. My heart, nostalgia. Oh, I just. Kids Next Door. If you've seen Kids Next Door, you're a real G. You're the real G. If you have not seen the show, you should go watch it right now. This show made you so happy being a kid. It made you feel lively, upbeat. It made you want to just go outside and have adventures. It was pretty much that. The codename Kids Next Door, until you became 18, you were in this division, this whole group, pretty much. And they were having adventures, fighting adults, because adults were, they would do things like give you homework and all this crappy stuff. And it was so eccentric for such a stupid... It was so eccentric. For, like, example, like, getting your teeth brushed. They would go to the dentist, and then there would just be this lady that was so evil, had, like, toothbrushes and all that. And it might be one of those shows where if I watch it now, I won't like it. But I think it was a very, very good show for its time. And I would easily watch this again. I actually might watch this again tonight. So, S tier, man. S tier. S tier. Come on, it's so good, man. Literally. Can we get a Kids Next Door in the chat down below? Can we get that for me and for you and for us? Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh, Courage the Cowardly Dog, really funny show. Courage was always scared, and then you had the stupid old man who was always grumpy and was like on crack or something. He was always in the back, just like, stupid dog. He was always that guy, the one Karen. But that's what made it funny. And then you had Muriel, the old lady. And it's again, back to the contrast. Like, I don't know if it's a contrast the right word. The difference in characters that link up to make a show good. And there was a story. It wasn't one random thing. And then the next random thing. I don't know the thing anymore. S tier, bro. What the hell is that? What is that? What is this? I don't know what that is. Dexter's Laboratory. I've never seen it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, guys. I know. I've never seen it. Imagine Dragons. I just did not like this show. A lot of people like it, and the movie. The first movie was decent, but there's something about it I did not like. I personally don't know what it was. There's something that threw me off. It can't just be me. It really can't. I don't know if it was the art style or the story. I don't know what it was, but there was something that threw me off. Don't know. Ed, and Eddy. This show was funny. This was a freaking hilarious show. Oh, this is tough. This show was so funny. Like, for example, they used to have these candies. Look at this. Pog. Funny. A. I would say it's an A. It's close, but I didn't watch the full series. So, A. I don't know. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Growing up, this was more of a show I grew up with, and it was amazing to grow up with the show. The characters were really funny. Again, you had the duo, the dynamic duo. You just had so many different characters that were... There were some that were funny. There were some that were serious. And it just made it a really great show. I can't really remember too much about it, but I do know that I had very, very good memories with it. And you need to go watch that show instantly. If you guys don't know what that is, come on now. Just get out of here. All right. Generator Rex. Generator Rex was awesome. He reminded me of Ben 10. It was just like Ben 10. Actually, I think Generator Rex got kicked out kind of because of Ben 10. The show had to end earlier because it was more of like, is it going to be Ben 10 or Generator Rex at the time? They were both like very heavily, there was a lot of competition between the two. And personally, obviously, I liked Ben 10 more and it was more popular. But Generator Rex was great. But the reason they really had to cancel is because they couldn't make merchandise for it. They had to stop. As you know, Cartoon Network has to make toys, and Ben 10, he can turn into so many aliens. They can make just a random alien and make a toy out of it. Simple as that. Generator Rex, he was able to generate machines. He had nanites in his body. It was called nanites, and he was able to control those nanites. No one else was able to do that. But anyways, the story of Generator Rex was incredible. It was a very scary show. Creepy. Really, yeah, it was just creepy. The characters were... The music, too... and everything. I would have to watch it again, but I do know it's an S tier. Freaking Billy and Mandy. This show was so stupid, bro. It was so dumb. But it was so good at the same time. The duo again, the trio. The Grim Reaper, he was forced to be friends with Billy and Mandy, and it ended up being the funniest thing in the world. I would say it's like a high B, because I had some good memories with it. I would not say it's higher than a pup named Scooby-Doo. You know, I'm bumping this up to an A. This show was actually really, really good. Johnny Bravo. I hate that. I don't know why everyone likes Johnny Bravo. He's just a typical guy. He's a Chad. He's a typical Chad. He goes around hitting on girls. And he has like some kind of like spaz attack. And then he follows up with his shades, going up to girls, hitting on them. I'm pretty sure he did some stuff outside of that too, like in their homes. And what a freaking weird ass show, dude. And for that reason, it is an Eddy. Johnny Test. This is an underrated gem. I think everyone watched this show. I don't know. Did you guys, was this popular? I think it was pretty popular. It was a hilarious show. The characters made no sense half of the time, and Johnny Test was that weird kid always being experimented on by his sisters because they were like scientists, and they ended up, what were they, like 10 years old too? And they were building like machines and robo suits. It was so funny. And they had this annoying whiplash sound effect every time. Literally every time in the show there was a whiplash sound effect, and it made no sense. My girlfriend recently told me that about that whiplash sound effect. Like, if you watch the show, you'll hear the whiplash sound effect, and it ruined it for me. They play it like every second you move your hand. I'm gonna give Johnny Test a low S tier. So, such a great show. Looney Tunes. Oh, I did see the Looney Tunes show. Wait, this show was awesome. I remember that show somewhere. I have like some memory with the show. I can't recall. I'm gonna give this show like a C. I don't remember it. I'm gonna give it a C because I don't remember, but I do remember it was a really, really good show. Mad. I remember sitting on the couch just watching the show, and my mom used to get so pissed off at me. She was so confused why I was watching this dog crap. It made no sense. If any of these shows made no sense, this is the show. So random. It was pretty much like it's pretty much the comic books combined into the episodes. Like, so they took the comics and made it into like a cartoon. And the amount of randomness this show had, it was so weird and funny. Just for that, I would give it like a... Mad is kind of like one of those foods that you eat and you keep eating it, but then once you eat it, you get sick of it. You eat it too much, you get sick of the food, but you don't come back to it. There's some foods like that, and there's some foods where you eat them and you're like, but then you come back to it after once in a while. Mad is kind of like one you don't really come back to. I don't know, man. It was mediocre. Flapjack. Flapjack was a very dark cartoon. Incredibly dark humor, dark pictures. Like, when I say dark, I mean creepy, and like it shouldn't even be a cartoon. This is what the new cartoons look like nowadays. This bubbly ass looking SpongeBob looking thing. And then you compare it to this, Flapjack. This is real. This is literally in Flapjack. They had creepy images like this. The sound effects were... This was one of the shows that just... What the... I'm gonna give it like an S tier. I'm gonna say it's honestly right there. Right below Kids Next Door. Let's continue. I don't know what this is. I am gonna get roasted. I don't know like any of these cartoons. I grew up with like the best cartoons. Let's put it like that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. My gym partner's a monkey. I've seen that somewhere. Hold on, guys. My gym partner, a monkey. Monkey. I've seen this show somewhere. Whoa. Wait a second. I remember that snake guy. And that toucan. Wait, this is like a wholesome moment for me. What the heck? I've seen these characters somewhere. I don't know where, but I've definitely seen the show. There's some kind of nostalgia hitting me, but I'm just gonna put never seen because Annoying Orange. I remember seeing that when I was young. I remember seeing like a little of it, but it was just trash, man. This show was... It's so dumb. I'm sorry. It was from a YouTube channel that blew up, I'm pretty sure. But the show was so stupid. Literally, it's just a show about like oranges like and fruits with mouths and talking, and the characters are incompetent of doing anything. Okay. We are down to the final 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are down to the final 11. I have not really seen Skunk Fu. I've seen a tiny bit, and the only memory I have of this, I'm going to be honest, blatantly honest, the only memory I have of Skunk Fu is I was at home on my desk with my tiny little TV in the bed. I was too lazy to get the remote, and then I got up and I looked out the window, and I saw the ice cream truck. At that moment, my little heart just exploded. I went downstairs, asked my mom for the piggy bank, and I was like, Mom, can I have the piggy bank? Because we all had one of those, those little pigs, and then you had the quarters in, then you had like an ice cream cone on it, and you were just begging your mom, like, Mom, please, Mom, I need a SpongeBob popsicle. SpongeBob popsicles were fire. I don't give a crap what you guys say. The SpongeBob popsicles, the Italian ices. And then I watched the show, and then I think I never watched it again after that. So I'm going to give it mediocre, because that's a great memory. That is a very wholesome memory for me. The Batman. Where do I even begin with the Batman? Or the Batman, the animated series. Not the Batman, sorry, that's a different cartoon. Batman, the animated series, which that cartoon is also an S. Batman, the animated series. This cartoon is incredible. Batman, the animated series, had everything. The sound score was way beyond its time. It was so old feeling, but had the new feeling. It was nostalgic. It was very creepy. The art style was insane, my guy. Insane. And the story from every single episode, I was in that show. When you watch a show, you want to be invested in the show. You don't want to just watch it just to watch it. Maybe sometimes you do. But Batman, the animated series, you felt for those characters. You felt because of how good the music was, the soundtrack, everything, the art style, man, the Joker, the character development. Oh my God, I gotta chill. I gotta freaking relax, man. Get way out of myself right now. What's new, Scooby-Doo? I grew up with this. If you had this thing as a kid, you can be my friend any day. This thing was, bro. You get the DVDs, the little mini DVDs. You slap it in the thing. It spins around, and you get a little, just a tiny, tiny little screen, and you get to watch your shows. You get to watch Scooby-Doo. Look, I can buy one of these things right now for $20, and the loading screen, is to watch these things under the bed all the time. If you had one of these, you're honestly so freaking cool. I felt like the coolest kid having this, because I didn't have a phone like all you privileged bitches now. You're all so privileged, and you know, I didn't have this. I'm 22 years old, so growing up, I can't believe I'm saying this, I literally had this. I had maybe like an MP3 player. You all already know those too, but I would always watch What's New, Scooby-Doo, and a few other shows like Batman, the Batman, and that's why I have such a good memory with this. So I'm gonna put this like right here, because What's New, Scooby-Doo was easily the best one too. Very good character development, very good storyline, some creepy scenes, some funny things. It was just a really good show. Total Drama Island. The only reason I like this show is because I remember my mom hating it so much, because the characters, every single episode, they would always throw up for no reason. I remember, I'm scarred as a kid. I am literally scarred. I was scarred as a kid because there was this one episode, I remember, like, they were throwing up in each other's mouths, and I was like, a little kid watching, like, and then Teen Titans Go. This is what I mean about the new cartoons, about them sucking butt cheeks, man. Major butt cheeks. Not the good kind. Not the good kind. Teen Titans Go. It's okay. It's like a show you'll watch just to binge watch and just be like, whatever. So it's like, it's mediocre. But then Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans. Oh my. The original Teen Titans was so good, man. Okay, every single character had a purpose. Robin was his own character. You know, obviously he stepped his own path outside of Batman. and he formed a division. There was Beast Boy, he can turn into monsters, or animals. Cyborg, he was strong, he had the superpowers. Raven, she was always grumpy, and personally, I had a huge crush on Raven as a kid. Like, that emo girl, I loved Raven. Starfire, she was so happy and wholesome and funny, and then Robin was the leader. It was such a good show. Every episode, again, had a purpose. The characters had development. The characters were insanely funny. It was an insanely funny show. They were all so different that it just made sense. And not every 2 seconds they would be like, oh, we have to go do this and this and this. Oh, actually, let's just mess around and forget the whole thing, and just forget the whole cartoon. So easily S tier. On to the final 5. Okay, the final 5. Star Wars The Clone Wars. I saw a few episodes. I did like Star Wars. I had like a small phase with it. I would always get the Legos, play the Lego game, but I really only enjoyed Lego Star Wars. I dabbled with Clone Wars a tiny bit, not enough to say I liked it. So it's mediocre. Secret Saturdays, very random show that came out, did awful. People hated it. It was not that good. I actually, about 2 years ago, I was like watching some Ben 10, because Ben 10's the best show in the world, and if you haven't seen it, you should definitely go see it. Sponsored by Ben 10. I saw Secret Saturdays, like an ad for it, and I was like, oh, I remember that show, bro. I had like a toy for it too. I clicked it and I watched it. It sucked. I'm sorry. The music was good, but it was so freaking terrible, man. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. The art style was weird. Okay, the art style is fine, and everyone like was obsessed with the hot mom. Like, they even made an episode of Ben 10 where Ben 10 was simping over the mother, which was really funny. But overall, it was just not that good of a show. It was not that good of a show, man. The story was not where it should have been. I would say it was mediocre. Probably right. I would say a high, right under Mad. Right under Mad. I think that's fair. You guys will probably want to fight me for this and probably destroy me and unsubscribe. But please don't unsubscribe, because I need you. I need you. Seriously, I need you. Please, we're trying to get to 100K here. Okay, Steven Universe. I never watched this show. I watched a little of it. That's it. Like 1 or 2 episodes. I never got into it. A lot of people love this show. And yes, I need to get into it. Personally, okay, fine. I will watch this show. I will make a tab. Steven Universe. I will watch the show, okay? And then I will comment on this video sometime if I watched it and what I think. But I have not seen it. I've seen like a few episodes and it was decent. So I don't know. The only memory I have with this, there was one time I was watching it, they were exploring like a castle or something, and I was like eating macaroni chicken nuggets or something. And they were really bad too. That's back then when I was really fat back then. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but back then I was a pretty chunky boy. I used to be 190. I'm 130 now. So I used to be a pretty chunky boy. So I'm gonna put this in burn it. No, I'm kidding. Right there. I think I will watch it and then let you guys know. Next, Symbionic Titan. This was an underrated gem. Out of any show in this whole list, this was probably the most underrated show that truly deserved to be continued because of the story. Next, actually, before we say next, I'm going to say this show was fantastic. So funny, man. If they continued it, I would give it higher than Chowder. But I'm not going to. I'm going to put it right below. Actually, I'll put it right below Batman Beyond. If they continued it and they didn't have to end it because they had no toys, which is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard. Cartoon Network always makes this thing, oh, if we can't make toys, then... I don't even think I've seen a Symbionic toy, in my opinion. Symbionic Titan toy, anyways. They didn't even try to make toys for the show. They could have made a few things. There wasn't a lot they could have made, which is why they had to cancel it, because obviously that's Cartoon Network's priority, making figures to make money, because this world is revolved around money and currency, and if you don't have it, then you can't do anything. The one episode I did remember, though, Lance's past. Again, the character. I'm all about character development. If you don't have a story with the characters and you can't understand how the characters act and why they're like this, then I just don't see a purpose of watching a cartoon unless you're watching with some friends just to, F around and mess around and all that crap. But regular show. Last but certainly not least, regular show was easily one of the most random, funny, hilarious ass shows to exist. And personally, if I never watched, wait, hold on. This is a tough one, man. I'm gonna make you guys wait. Regular show had everything. It was so random. Every episode, it's called regular show, but it's not. It's the most random crap. There were punchies. There was episodes where there was like baby ducks. They flew to the moon. It was so random. I can't even remember. There was just too much to process in my brain right now. But every episode had such a random, unique feature in it for something really stupid that was accentuated to the top. For example, they had an episode with rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and Mordecai and Rigby were fighting over a grandfather's chair. It's like an old grandpa chair. They just wanted the chair. They were fighting over it, and they were doing rock, paper, scissors, shoot. They kept getting the same thing at least 100 times in a row. And after the 100th time, a whole portal opened up, and then everything broke out in hell, and it was ridiculous. It's things like that. It made no sense. I can't even explain how good this show was, man. If you need to watch it. Seriously. If you're watching this video right now, watch this goddamn show, man. Watch it. I don't want to talk to anyone who has not watched this show. This is like a must in life. Now the question is, do I like Adventure Time or regular show more? Personally, I grew up with regular show more, but I have so many good memories with Adventure Time. I can't decide, my guy. I'm just gonna say they're even. So they're even, okay? There's no difference. Anyways, this is my list. If you guys have a different opinion about something, please leave a comment. Let me know, because I really do have a lot of memories with these shows. They mean a lot to me. I know they're just cartoons, but in the end, I grew up with these. I learned a lot of morals from them. I learned a lot of stories and things that just really helped me in my life. Like, it helped me of dark times. It helped lighten my mood, made me feel joyful. And I had a lot of wholesome memories with these cartoons, so they mean a lot to me. Ben 10 just hits differently. Ben 10 hits very differently. And I'd really like to know what you guys think about these cartoons as well. Tell me your favorite. Tell me your least favorite. If you want me to do this again, I did a Ben 10 tier list ranking a while back. If you want me to do something again like this, like a Pokemon tier list or anything like that, leave a comment down below about that as well. God, you guys are going to be leaving like essays down below. Damn. Well, let me know. I'm interested to know. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. It really helps. And if you're feeling spicy, hit that like button. You're looking great today, man. Be positive. Be happy about life. Life is too short. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.